All right, apologies if this turns out to be vertical. I'm having to film with my phone camera today for YouTube because something is wrong with my video camera today. I don't know what it is. It was working fine yesterday. So I noticed that in the comments section of my little PSA on the term Karen, um, some people are confused about this doll that I'm holding. Now, as I said in the beginning of that video, this is a cosplay. I am cosplaying Karen the anti-vaxxer wackadoo. And this doll is a prop for my cosplay. And to get her up close here, you can see that she's been painted to look like a child who is dying from measles. I mean, even, she's got little red splotches all over her. And this was painted by my friend Douglas, who has the YouTube channel Drowned Boy Cosplay. And if you like the band Ghost and you like horror movies like Friday the 13th, I highly recommend his channel. He also painted the mask for my Red Death cosplay, which most people, when they cosplay Red Death, which is from the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Mask of the Red Death, they tend to do a Red Grim Reaper, not realizing that that's actually from the Phantom of the Opera. There is a scene in the novel in which Eric goes to the Paris Opera's annual masquerade ball as Red Death. And in the novel, if you haven't read the book, Eric's face actually is more like a skull. He has no nose. He has yellow eyes, and the skin of his face is real tight to his skull, like if he almost has no muscles underneath. So he looks like a Red Grim Reaper in that scene, because he's not wearing a mask in that scene. So, but I wanted to go for more of a plague doctor, because for those of you who haven't read The Mask of the Red Death, which you really should, especially in this time of plague, the story is about a plague called the Red Death. So I wanted to go for more of a plague doctor meets the Grim Reaper sort of look. And Douglas helped me do that. Now, as for the inspiration behind this cosplay, which isn't 100% complete, there's a few props I still need yet. So I have two great nephews, and before the oldest one was born, my niece and her husband, of course, said, hey, if you don't get the Tdap booster, or if you haven't had it in less than 10 years, you're not going to be allowed around our child, which perfectly sane, perfectly reasonable, because they're doing that to protect their newborn son. And my parents, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, when I tried the homemade spicy corn nuts, my parents are the silent generation. So they were born in 1942 and 1943, respectively. And as members of the silent generation, they, of course, saw a time before we had all the vaccines we have now. And they saw friends and family members die of things like measles, chickenpox, polio, rubella, the flu. These are all things that can and do kill. And even if they don't kill, sorry, my nose itches. Even if they don't kill, they can leave you like severely brain damaged, severely disabled, infertile. They are not harmless like the anti-vaxxers keep trying to claim. They can cause encephalitis and leave you basically unable to walk or talk or have any quality of life whatsoever. This is why vaccines are so important. So my parents are very pro-vaccine. I will say my mother is hesitant about some because she's had allergic reactions to them. She's had allergic reactions to the flu shot and the pneumonia shot, which perfectly understandable, but otherwise completely, get your vaccines, vaccinate your children, unless, of course, they're immunocompromised. If you don't do it, you're a murderer. So we're going to go get our Tdap boosters, and a few of our family members kind of freaked out and are like, oh, toxins, 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 ugh, And so Mom, feeling kind of snarky, made this sign about getting the Tdap booster and protecting babies and saving lives. We all went down to Costco and got our Tdap boosters, and then we held up the sign, and the pharmacist took a picture of us, and I put it on Instagram, just to kind of be a little bit snarky back, and because we were sick and tired of hearing it every single day. You know, some of the family members would call us up and like, don't get it, toxins, toxins. You know, being total Karens. And 2 years go by. 2 years. By this time, my great nephew is fully vaccinated himself, mind you. And anti-vaxxers found the post and started in on me saying, don't you go near him. Vaccines shed and you're going to give him pertussis and he's going to die. And I'm like, vaccines don't shed. The viruses in vaccines are dead. They can't get you sick. Just vaccinate your kids. You obviously don't really love them if you're not vaccinating them. And of course, you know, because I have no patience for stupidity. Okay, I have zero patience for stupidity. And if you believe the lies of people like Wakefield and Big Tree and all those idiots, you're stupid, right? There is no fetal DNA in vaccines. They don't turn you gay. Yes, that is something anti-vaxxers say. They say that there's fetal DNA in vaccines and that if a boy gets one with too much girl DNA, he'll either become gay or trans and vice versa for a girl. And it gets even dumber from there because they claim that eating a vegan diet, specifically a raw, organic vegan diet, will detox the foreign DNA and turn them straight or cisgendered, as the case may be. Yeah, all my gay vegan friends. You know, I have a lot of gay vegan friends, and you know, you got famous gay vegans like Brad Mondo. You know, yeah, let's see how that vegan diet is working out and curing homosexuality. Like it's even something that needs a cure. It's perfectly normal and natural to be gay. Honestly. So I have no patience for stupidity. I did eventually end up blocking the first few people that started it, but then it just got worse from there where I was actually getting death threats. I was flat out getting death threats, and I eventually had to go private on Instagram because of the fact that they were taking my stuff, even stuff that had nothing to do with vaccines, and posting it to their own Instagrams and saying, this woman is crazy, she shouldn't be around children, she's sick, she's fat because she's vaccinated, you know, she's fat because she eats GMOs. No, I'm fat because I have things like polycystic ovarian syndrome, anemia, and allergies, plus some things that happened to me in my past, like sexual assault, that has caused me to get depression and eat my feelings, you know? And so between medical reasons and psychological reasons, it has nothing to do with vaccines. The only things the vaccines did was turn me into an adult because I didn't die of chickenpox when I got it back in the 80s. And I can't wait to get the shingles vaccine. You know, it's the one thing I plan on doing as soon as I turn 60. I'm going to the doctor and I'm getting the shingles vaccine. So like I said, I eventually had to go private over there. But I found that dealing with the whole Karens in a humorous way is very therapeutic. So I started designing this cosplay called Karen the Anti-Vaxxer Wackadoo. And my goal is to eventually wear this to Monsterpalooza, which is a horror convention. You know, I still have a few props that I need. Like I'm looking for, like whenever I go thrift shopping, I'm looking for anything that says doTERRA on it. For those of you who don't know what doTERRA is a multi-level marketing, or AKA a pyramid scheme with a product, which is what they are, what MLMs are. That sells overpriced essential oils. Frankly, you could buy better quality essential oils at Dollar Tree. Another MLM that you should avoid that also sells overpriced essential oils is Young Living. Both of them are horrible companies. You're not going to make any money, and their essential oils aren't that great. And the companies themselves say to don't do this, but a lot of the people that sell these pyramid scheme products will go around saying, oh, essential oils cure cancer and essential oils cure autism, and they even put essential oils in food. Essential oils are not safe for human consumption. You should not be putting them in your water. You should not be putting them in your food. You should not be ingesting them at all. The only thing essential oils are good for is covering up the smell of poop in your bathroom. Put a little in a diffuser in your bathroom. That's all you should be doing with essential oils. And it's just, and like I said, they'll even give them to their children, rub them on their skin without any carrier oil, which can lead to a lot of chemical burns. They use them on their animals. Tea tree oil actually kills dogs and cats. It actually kills dogs and cats. And these people are putting tea tree oil onto their pets, which can cause organ failure and a horrible, painful death to prevent fleas, instead of, going to the vet and getting actual flea prevention. Another thing they do is they give their kids bleach enemas. Yeah, that's right, bleach. It's called Miracle Mineral Solution or Miracle Mineral Supplement. You can either look up Miles Powers, Jeff Holiday, or the Illuminati here on YouTube and see videos all about MMS, or you can just go to the Rational Wiki and read about it there. A lot of anti-vaxxers try to claim it's not bleach because it's not the same chemical formula as, say, Clorox, but it is bleach. It is bleach. It's a bleach that's actually meant for bleaching wood pulp, but in very minute amounts it can be used to purify water, like a few drops to so many gallons, and then you let it sit for several hours. Well, they're putting it in enemas in large amounts. Sometimes they're mixing Epsom salts or essential oils with it, putting it up their kid or forcing their kid to drink it, and then claiming that it kills autism-causing parasites. And then they post pictures of what is their child's intestinal lining on the internet. Why this? And you got people are buying it from Amazon right now as we speak. You can find it on Amazon. They're buying it as a COVID cure or COVID, good thing I don't monetize my videos anyway. I don't think I even qualify for monetization. But yeah, people are actually buying it thinking that it's going to prevent them getting the plague or cure them of the plague. No, it's going to kill you. People have died from that. And don't even get me started on Jilly Juice. That's another one. You can look up Miles Powers, Jeff Holiday, or Illuminati, or all three. Or you can look her up on the Rational Wiki. It's basically just salty fermented cabbage water, And again, it's something that people that don't believe in vaccines because they're stupid use on their children. So I found it's very therapeutic to go onto TikTok and make videos where Karen is trying to sell Freddy Krueger doTERRA, or saying that Michael Myers is vaccine injured. And I'll tell you, the vaccine, I'm not saying that vaccines can't cause some problems, because like I said, my mom is allergic to the flu vaccine. I'm not. I've had my flu shot. Never had a reaction. But, the things that they list, there's a website called VAERS, VARES, and it's the vaccine injury reporting site. Well, if you look at the things they report as vaccine injuries, bad bleach jobs, tattoos, gunshot wounds, murder are all listed as vaccine injuries. Motorcycle accidents, a guy giving himself a flu shot himself is listed as a vaccine injury. This is why I'm always saying vaccine injuries don't actually exist, because they report the stupidest thing as vaccine injuries. So it's very, like I said, it's very therapeutic. That's why I designed this, and I just need a few more props. Like I said, what I want is so I don't have to carry the doll around the convention all day. I want a baby carrier made that says doTERRA across the front, right? And if we still have to wear masks at that point, I'm going to have a mask that says Karen on it. Because frankly, I can't think of anything scarier than a person who would rather give their child a bleach enema or salty fermented cabbage water, than life-saving vaccines. Because of the lies of people. Go to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Twitter feed, and you will see him claiming that the Gardasil vaccine, which prevents HPV, which ultimately prevents certain forms of cancer that women and men can get and non-binary people can get. So it is basically it is basically a vaccine against certain forms of cancer. He's there saying that that the Gardasil vaccine makes girls cut themselves. You know, and I won't even repeat the things Rob Schneider has tweeted because they're flat out racist. I don't even know why he's still on Twitter because he's violating their terms of service left, right, and backwards, and he can't say anything about it because it's right there on Twitter. It's right there on Twitter where he's called. There's this doctor and politician in California here called Dr. Richard Pan. He got a law passed in which parents can no longer get fake exemptions from vaccines. Parents were getting fake exemptions. And it's not that parents can't still turn down vaccines. It's just that they can no longer get these fake exemptions that they were getting. It's now actually a crime to give a person a fake exemption. And I know that it happens because I've met people who've gotten those fake exemptions and had to really restrain myself from telling them that they should be reported to Children's Protection Services for child abuse. Because I just didn't want to get into a physical fight, even though I really wanted to punch them in their child-abusing faces. And the Dr. Richard Pan happens to be of Asian descent, but he was born here in America. And oh my God, the crap that Rob Schneider tweeted at him. One second it would be a tweet saying, go back to Korea. The next second he would be calling him Mao Zedong. I mean, Rob Schneider might as well just go ahead and apply for a pointy white hat and a white sheet and start doing cross-shaped bonfires on unwilling people's lawns. After all that, there's a reason why he was removed as a spokesman for insurance. That's why I say Karen is a gender-neutral term. I know a lot of people are in the comments of that video saying, no, it's a Chad, no, it's a Darren, no, it's this, it's that. I mean, I swear there is more names for a male Karen than there is for a male Mary Sue. And there is a lot of names for a male Mary Sue, like Gary Stu, Marty Stu, Larry Stu. For those of you who don't know what a Mary Sue is, it's a fan fiction term that some people think is sexist. I don't really think it is, I've actually written Mary Sue fan fictions because I think they're fun to write, But yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, a male Karen is still a Karen because to me it's still a gender neutral term. But anyway, that's the history behind why I have a Karen cosplay, why I play Karen on TikTok. It's therapy for me. When you've gotten so many threats and nasty messages and people going around saying that you're crazy and that vaccines and genetically modified food have made you mentally ill and saying that you should die and that you're not safe to be around children because you're fully vaccinated and you're pro-vaccine, it's very therapeutic to go on there and do something like trying to tell Jason Voorhees that if he goes vegan, he'll stop killing people. Because that is like the craziness of this crowd. And it's no offense against vegans because I've got a lot of vegan friends. I just wish more vegans would speak out against the craziness that's being said because I imagine it's only making their lives harder when you have somebody like Kat Von D going around saying, vaccines aren't vegan, so I'm not going to vaccinate my child. But anyway, so that's the reason for the doll in the video. Her name is Melody. She's Melody with her marvelous measles. There is a really, really terrible children's book on Amazon called something like Melanie's Marvelous Measles. I messed up the name and named her Melody instead. It's a really horrible children's book by an anti-vaxxer wackadoo that Amazon really should ban along with MMS and all that nonsense. But, it's probably hard to keep up with all the different little shops. You know, you think about how eBay probably never knew that people were selling their own organs on their site until it actually ended up in the news. So, excuse me. Yeah. She's dying of measles because her mother is an idiot and doesn't love her and won't vaccinate her.